staff members in positions that I believe they're not qualified for. And all of a sudden, it's okay just to be bloated in every single position. Everybody's got an assistant. Nobody's doing their job. Nobody's at work. The biggest complaint I get is that they're not in their office. They're out at some meeting or some luncheon, but nobody's taking care of city business.
Okay, let me go on. Staff members in positions without qualifications. Who is not qualified for their job in this city?
Really?
You said it. Staff members in positions without qualifications. Who's not qualified?
I believe the attorneys told us. I know, but the
You're
attorneys had already,
personnel?
they told us not
Call
to
them
discuss.
out?
Yeah. Who?
I would do that behind closed doors. I'll tell you exactly which employees.
Okay, so you believe, not only do you believe, you know we have employees not qualified for their job.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you the HR director?
No.
Okay, so you should address this then to the HR director, and when you're firing everybody, fire him too.
Keep bringing it up, Mike. Keep bringing it up.
I am.
Good.
Because what we have here is a political coup. You fire the lawyers, you fire the legal team, you fire you're firing Dan, you want to fire Steck, you want to fire everybody in a political coup.
It's not a political coup. It's not a political coup when people
Now,
vote.
city manager follows the directions of the mayor and not the commissioners. Dan addressed that. We vote on things and he carries them out. There's no incident of what he did not carry out.
Since I become commissioner, I wanted to know the true cost of operating the police department.
On the operating cost, Commission, every year we go to a very extensive budget workshop process. A budgetary process that involves several meetings. We provide the City Commission with detailed budget information on every single department.
I guess Dan addressed it, never provided the true operating costs of the Harlingen Police Department. I don't think our finance committee is holding back any information. I don't think the
So
police
what's the
chief
cost,
is
Mike?
holding.
You know what the cost is to operate it?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, but you know what it is?
I could look it up. We get manuals every
No,
year
no,
showing
get-
the
you-
budget, and we get what
was
has been
provided in
spent.
budget. We don't get a true cost, analysis of what it actually costs to run that department.
We do absolutely get a true cost of what it runs the department.
And it's available on the internet.
I don't know what you're not looking at, but we get a budget binder every year. It's to operate police operations. It's around $12 million, and to operate police services, it's around $2 million, and to operate fire suppression, it's around $9 million. I mean, it's all in the budget. And the problem is, Commissioner, quite frankly, you don't look at the budget. You don't look at the information that is readily available to each and every commissioner, not only in the form of the proposed budget binder, but I've shown you, I said, this information in the budget. We have a budget binder that we get, then we get the budget after it's been approved by the City Commission, and everybody gets a copy of that, and it tells us how many police officers we have. It tells us how many in each category that we have in the budget, as well as in the CAFR. That's the third time we get to see the budget. And that's the one that's audited by the outside auditors. And so we get every bit of detail. The finance department every year wins awards for transparency with regard to our budgets. So for you to make that statement to the citizens of Harlingen is just unbelievable. For you to say that we don't know what the true cost of operating the police department is means that you haven't looked at any of those 3 documents, now totaling 15 documents over the last 5 years.
Miriam Anderson, Assistant Police Chief, modifying and taking time off of our police officers.
This was addressed with the Assistant Chief. It was documented. Police officers are afforded a level of due process that involves a file that's a discretionary file. And so I am not going to go into more detail than that. But I will say that this item was addressed between myself and our police chief.
She continues to do it, then
I'm not going to get into any details.
Continue to do it.
It's a personnel matter.
Okay. Let's
We
just continue to do
absolutely
it.
did address this.
Just continue to do it. And you still have it on staff.
And if you allow me to finish, sir.
Go ahead.
And the code enforcement timesheet, that was addressed with all our employees. As a matter of fact, we reconciled with the employees. We addressed it with the supervisor, disciplinary action. I'm not going to get into any details. The employees were compensated for the time that they agreed that was incorrect. And the supervisor was dealt with pretty strong.
So how do you know about this? This should be in this person's personnel file. How were you privy to this?
You ask him how I found out.
Yeah,
Does it matter?
yeah,
Shouldn't? Because it happened?
but this is.
Because that's the point. Now you want me to say who it was, so they can go target that person and create that whole toxic environment. I can tell you, the problem is, it should have never happened, and it's still happening to this day.
So I'm just
Okay?
curious.
And you've never employed anybody, so you don't know what that's like.
That's a false statement.
Okay.
And so, Dan, do you run the police department?
No, sir.
No, you don't?
They work under the police chief.
And so.
I can't fire police officers.
No?
Sir.
And so it's up to the police chief to deal with this matter?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? Okay.
We terminated our former fire chief by sending the letters home while he was out on sick leave.
The fire chief, without going into any detail, there is litigation. There is several issues with respect to this termination, which I'm not going to get into for obvious reasons. But as far as being out on sick leave, he was not out on sick leave. He was just not reporting to work.
How do you know he was out on sick leave? And what was his disease process?
Doesn't matter.
Well,
The
you
point-
said he was out on sick
Yes,
leave.
it was, and it doesn't matter. The point is, it happened.
Well, how do you know he was on sick
Did it
leave?
happen? Yes or no?
How do you know he was
not
on sick leave?
Oh, and,
How do you know he was on sick leave?
okay.
Where do you get your information
It
from?
doesn't matter, Mike. doesn't
It
matter.
matters. You're making
Doesn't-
allegations.
No, they're facts. It's factual.
It's a fact. Where do you
Fact
get,
is, we
what
should
was his
not be
disease
sending our police
process?
department outside of the city limits to terminate an employee under any circumstance. Yes or no? Or do you agree with what they did?
Pardon?
Do you agree with in the manner they?
I don't know.
they
I'd have to ask the lawyer if
Do-
that was
do you
legal or
agree
not.
With that manner, and where is it in our
It's
our
legal.
scope of how we
Oh,
terminate
okay,
people?
the attorney just said it was legal.
It's legal to do that.
Perfectly legal.
Is
In
this
fact,
the reason why you fired the
required
legal
by the
team?
statute. Required
It's
by the
required
statute.
to send a police officer
Required
to your
personal
house.
service.
It's required. to send a
Required
police-
personal service in a civil
they're on
service
medical.
department.
Is this one of the reasons why you fired the legal team?
There's been several sexual harassment claims against Dan. Several. I asked for his file. There's nothing in his file. How can there not be anything in his file? We got sued a couple of times. How is there nothing in this file? Because why? Because every investigation, it goes to Dan. It doesn't come to the commission. He gets to be his own judge and jury where he did the right thing or not.
I don't know what this is. Commissioner, either you're fabricating something that doesn't exist, even though you stated yourself, there's nothing in the file. There are no sexual harassment complaints. So I have no idea why you're fabricating things.
That's not a fabrication.
Other than to smear my name.
That's not a fabrication.
And
Now,
that.
let me ask you
that-
something. Let me ask you
that-
something.
I'm not finished, sir. I allowed you to speak.
If a sexual harassment thing happens, you get to overhear that, don't you?
No, that goes to HR. That goes to HR.
But you ultimately, you have the deciding power.
No,
You
no,
said-
sir.
You said there was a lawsuit. Didn't you say there was a lawsuit?
We had a
Commissioner Uribe?
lawsuit that was settled.
Didn't you say there was a
There
lawsuit?
was a lawsuit and it got settled outside of court.
What was the
What was the
what was the
lawsuit?
plaintiff's
It
name?
was the previous marketing lady that's now a city manager in Eagle Pass or Del Rio or wherever she went. You know which one I'm talking about? 'Cause I know, 'cause I've talked to.
There's no lawsuit.
Was there a
There was no
lawsuit, sexual harassment lawsuit?
Not against Dan Cerna.
Now we're targeting our airport director.
I don't know what this is in reference to. I think our airport director has done a magnificent job. He doesn't work for me. He has never worked for the city manager. He works directly for the airport board. I do not have any say in his compensation or his evaluation. I am on the board as a ex officio, non-voting member.
You're accusing him. What evidence do you have that he's targeting the director of the
What evidence
airport?
do you have that he's not?
I don't have to provide no evidence. That's a stupid question.
Right.
Where's your evidence? You made an accusation. Where's the evidence? You want to fire this man based on
I will talk
this.
to you about personal matters behind closed doors all you want.
How is he targeting the director?
Again, I will discuss that behind closed doors all you want.
Did the
And then
director
if
tell
want-
you this
Really?
directly?
No,
Well, then how do you know?
because it doesn't matter, Mike. It doesn't matter. Like I told you, the point is it's happening.
By the
Well, let's
legal
go
team.
back to the 20,000 TMRS the 20,000, because honestly, that's the.
Yeah.
No, let me finish. Go ahead. You've been
Please.
talking, let me talk. Because honestly, that is honestly, when I talk to my constituents, that's honestly the big elephant in the room. One of the things that my constituents, as of last Saturday, I mean, that's one thing that they keep asking me. And I think that is good. The thing is, though, our constituents want to understand, why did he get a $45,000 raise? So Mayor, right now, in front of everybody, why did Dan get a $45,000 raise? I don't understand it. This is something that I'm always have to defend Dan in, because they ask me, my constituents specifically ask me, why is he getting paid so much? And when they ask me, and I've asked you this before, why the $45,000? You're saying it's retirement. Come on. If it was really retirement, I mean, come on. Why is it fair that the city manager got something for retirement? And that's because he said himself that he's still in the TMRS. He's grandfathered in. He's still grandfathered in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, again, correct me, but that doesn't make sense. All we did for his retirement, but yet he's still in TMRS, and you didn't do anything for the regular employees, nothing. He got a $45,000 raise. He was already the highest paid employee that we had, but yet, hey, let's go and give him a $45,000 raise.
But this discussion is about the city manager. What you're criticizing is a decision made by a prior city commission.
But this is one of the things that.
But isn't that what you're doing? Aren't you criticizing a decision made by a former city commission?
Yes, I am,
Okay,
because that
well,
was a
you can
wrong
do-
decision.
Well, it's your right to do that, but let's not, why is he in the crossfire on this issue?
If you notice, I haven't directed anything toward Dan. I'm
Right, so,
directing it to you.
but that's what that's what this item is about. It's about the city manager, not about bad decisions that you think.
But
the
since
prior
I
city
wasn't
commission
there,
made.
I'm trying to get an explanation, because I know you and Mike
Well,
were there.
there were other issues. He had another city that was courting him. We didn't want to lose him, because that city commission thought he was doing a great job. I certainly think he's doing a great job, and we didn't want to lose him. So we made a statement, and we trued up his salary to what we thought was a competitive salary for him not to consider the other position.